Alrighty, okay. Welcome back, Eagles, to another monthly Zoom for our Elite Eagles. Just before we hopped on here, just chatting with some of the people that hopped on early, say it's already October, which means we're in the last quarter of 2025, right? It just felt like only yesterday, it was January 25th. I mean, 2025, and we are all making goals and lists of things to do. I'm not sure, what your goals look like and are you close to achieving it? It's just that setting goals is one thing, but we always have to keep ourselves accountable and on track because there's no point writing a list just for fun and not following through. And to be honest, I'm guilty of that sometime too, but that's why sometimes having, the community, the accountability partner, or just having this meeting maybe challenges us to stay on course, okay? So today's meeting, we're going to go over our leaderboard as normal. And thank you to Emily and Jackson for volunteering to do the leaderboard. So I'll put you guys on to present next. And then after that, I'm going to do a presentation on the new campaign that just launched at the beginning of the October, which is Start Dash 238 campaign. In case some of you are not clear and have some question, because there has been some minor edit to the campaign that they caught. So they updated the file. So I'll go over that in case some people missed it. And then of course we got some question answered at the 6 a.m. meeting yesterday. Hopefully I can bring more clarity so that you guys can take advantage of this campaign, which is, I believe, it's an amazing campaign to help people jumpstart their business as with a 3A with a quadfecta. Alrighty, so we're gonna, and then of course at the end I'm gonna leave some room for some Q&A. So I think once in a while I do like to do a Zoom where we don't have a bunch of presentation that I'm doing, and that we'll have a chance for you guys to actually ask question or feedback, right? Converse on what you guys struggling with or what we should focus on our next meeting. Alrighty, so welcome everybody. See quite a few people on. So I'm going to pass over the screen to Emily and Jackson to do our leaderboard for us this month. Alrighty, guys, go ahead.
Hey, hello everyone.
Can you see your screen?
I see a black screen, so it's not loading yet.
Ah,
Okay, there it is. It's
okay, that's good. So, good afternoon or wherever you are. We're doing the October, is it October?
Yeah.
Yeah, October leaderboard. Okay, great. So here we go. So,
I just want to make a note, guys. So it's
okay.
October leaderboard, but it's the stats for September,
All
right?
right. Yes.
September
So we're
results. Yeah.
October, but we're
Okay.
doing September stats. Yeah,
Yes.
September stats. Yes.
Thank you.
So first we do the top buyers. Third place, we have Kania Diaz and Maite Fernandez, 11 buyers. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Did you
Then
see
we
the
have,
slide yet, guys? I still see the first slide leaderboard, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to jump to the next one.
let me try again.
Yeah, maybe we try again. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do again. That's one.
Yeah, because it was just stuck on the first screen.
Oh,
Okay, so now, yeah.
oh, but
Okay.
but where's the picture?
Yeah, it's on, but somehow it's not. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Yeah.
Okay now?
Yes. Good, good.
Okay. So we have the two tied at 11 for third place. And then, do you see the slide come again?
Yes, it's good.
Okay. So we have Yari said at 15 buyers for second place. Congrats.
Congratulations.
And first buy, we go to Coach Lysandra and with 19 buyers. Yay.
Almost 5 buyers per week.
Is it? Yeah, yes. Almost 5 buyers per week. So
Amazing.
congrats everyone
Amazing.
for the amazing job. And of course, when I remember we had our first buyers and distributors, it was exciting times. So, how come that one doesn't show? So now we have quite a lot of first time buyers. We have Giovanna Martinez, Dignora Gamez, Melody Perez, Azlidi Shamizo. We have Yeni Yera, Aslidi. What is it twice? Sorry. Sorry. We have Kenia Portales, Estermi Perez, Darlene Delgado, Lydian Rodriguez. Okay, congrats. And we have Mithila Ramsernstein. This is very difficult. Tammy Hoon, uh, Siha Chum, Karina Zhang, Gina Ko, Yolanda Zhang, and Shelly Xiao. Congratulations.
Congratulations
The
for
first time
first buyer.
we're getting their first buyer. Okay,
Yeah, more to come.
more to come. Okay. Can you guys see the photo?
The
Not
picture.
all are loading, just Yena's is
Oh,
loaded. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sometimes happened to me as well. I'm not sure
If we
why.
don't do the presentation mode, maybe it will show.
Oh,
Let's
try
see.
that then. Yeah. I'll
Uh,
hold the
yeah,
same.
we'll do again.
Maybe
Like this.
refresh the
Oh,
screen.
refresh. Okay, we'll do refresh here. Okay.
maybe turn this off and then turn on again.
Okay.
Let's try again. Stop
Because
share
that's
first.
happened to me sometime. It's like the
Yeah.
pictures won't load. It's just an empty box.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see if it works this time. Okay,
Here, this one.
there we go.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, there we go.
let's do it this way. So for first distributor, we have Wendy Chen for her first distributor.
Congratulations.
Dignora Gamez for her first distributor. Yenny Yera. Dariana Hernandez, first distributor. We have Yusin for first distributor. Silif Hang and Simney Stang, and as well as Colleen Hall.
Congratulations.
Congrats all for the first distributor. And we have new ranks. We have the new 3As in the house. We have Yerima Nunez. We have Tida Stratz and Stiti Nom. Okay. And then we have Sivhang Bun as with her stacked account for 3A. We have Done Johnson, also 3A, and Sophie Lee. And continue, we have one more 3As. We have Silly Pang, Niang Lee, and Puthiri Peters, also 3As. And last one, we have Bonri
Sweet.
Bonstri using. Okay.
Congratulations.
On the 3A milestone, which is most people think is the hardest to reach or the most challenging. And now we have the 4As. We have Kenya Diaz, Siphen Bong for top account is 4A. We have Anita Yu, we have 4A. And we have Liling Chen at 4A.
Congratulations.
Okay. And now we have 5As in the house. 5A, we have Yusnavi Million, Soklina Shea for her second stacked account is 5A. Shenda, she has first stacked account is 5A. And we have the new 6A. We have Yarised for achieving her 6A milestone. Congrats.
Congratulations, Yarised.
And of course, last but not least, we have Karen achieving the 6A3 dash for how do you call it? Milestone.
Yeah. With the incentives that are is really amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Very inspiring. Thank you, Karen.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah. Congrats. Okay. We'll stop share now.
All
There you go.
righty. Thank you so much, Emily and Jackson. Wow, what a month. I guess they said September to remember. Hey, so many new first buyer, distributor, all the 3A rank. I think that's thanks to the beef promo that we have so many new 3As. And of course, big congrats to yours on your 6A milestone, because I know that that's it's not as the hardest, but when as a newbie, that's what we strive for, right? The first is that 6A. And it's just that I feel like when you get to 6A, it's almost like you're invincible now. You've been through ups and downs, you've been through all the restriction, all the shutdown, and now you're equipped with the resilience, the knowledge to guide your team now. Because I think in Enagic's world, once you're a 6A, you are considered one of the leaders, and that's why you get the 6A bonus, and also the education allowances to step up and help your team. Because as we know, the way that Enagic is structured, if you want to reach those higher rank beyond 6A, it's about building the team. It's about supporting the team, because the only way we get to 6A2 is if we have two branch or two legs under us that are 6A, then that's how we advance to 6A2. So we can't just put in sales and make more points under our 6A account to reach 6A2, right? So you have to start. And part of our strategy is to advance faster, is to do the stacking strategy, which gives us like, more control of our business. But I think, being a -4 now and being in the business over 7 years, it is when you get to those bigger milestones. Trust me, guys, you cannot build it all on your own. Even if you are a super wild eagle, you it's not that it's not possible. Yes, it can be done, but you are still kind of stuck mentoring, stuck doing coaching calls, stuck doing everything. So the whole goal that we came into here is for income and also time freedom. So if you truly try to get to achieve time freedom, focus on building your team or empowering your team to help them grow, because that's how you're going to achieve the financial and the time freedom. Because as the saying goes, alone you can go fast, right? But together you can go far. So we've seen that amongst the leader who had advanced really fast, but they get to a point where their business plateau, because you can't continue to pile stuff on your back. You can only carry so much. So only when you have the support of your team, that's when you can advance further in rank, but you're not going to be burnt out. Okay. So yeah, so that's the goal. So that's why we've always, in Dream Team, we always focus on building leaders, empowering people to step up and and own their business. It's not like we're not here to help you, but we want you, we want to empower you to be able to believe in yourself and know that you're a leader. Because trust me, guys, I didn't come into here thinking I would lead this a huge team and doing mastermind and webinar. And like I was on someone's Zoom as a guest, and I one time I had a conversation with Mike. I'm like, Mike, I didn't sign up for any of this. I came into this business out of selfish reason, just wanting extra income so I have more time for my kids. I didn't sign up to do any of this leader stuff, hosting webinars and doing all this stuff. But Mike just like, he goes, Karen, that's how you grow, and that's how you become a better version of yourself. Like, none of us are ever ready. So I know that when we all started this business, I think most of us had doubts and we weren't sure what we're getting ourselves into. We weren't sure what we're doing and if we can do it or make it. But I think through the journey, it's not just about the financial gain, but I'm sure you guys can agree with me. It was that personal inner growth. And that's how we're able to go beyond what we think we are capable with. And I know that Kim is a perfect example, because she is an amazing coach and leader now. And I have like total respect for her. And I know that transformation took a few years, but like I said, it just didn't happen overnight, but it's over the years. And also seeing so many other amazing leaders in the community really inspire us that it's possible. So as Mike always say, when we're in the business, don't kind of sell yourself short saying that you don't know anything and that you cannot mentor the next person, because as mentor, we're not expected, or you're not expected to have all the answers in the world. You can mentor someone, that's because you have walked that path that they're starting, right? You started the way they are, you got your business page set up, you got your funnel set up. So the newbie, that's where you're guiding them. You're not guiding them on stuff that's beyond what you're doing yet. And of course, even if you feel that way, you always have your mentor and your coach that can help support you to guide your new mentee as well. So, but it's just about you need to step out of your comfort zone and step up and lead. And I also had this conversation with someone, I think it was Jackson and Emily, where we're saying where people are trying to, have buyers and distributors, business partners grow our business. But a lot of us are not that you're shy, but you don't have the confidence or you don't think you can do it. So you're not stepping up. And even though we want to have buyers and distributors and mentees, but are you stepping up to be a mentor? Are you showing up as a mentor yet, despite the fact that you don't have a mentee yet? Because that's the only way you're going to attract more mentees into your business, because you're showing the universe that you are ready. Like, hey, universe, I can mentor people, bring them on, right? But if you're always, hiding behind and unsure of yourself, even though maybe some of you do know this stuff, but you always say, oh, I'm not good enough. I don't know. I cannot mentor. I can't be a mentor. I don't know enough. Then you're sending that very negative energy or signal out saying that you're not ready to be a mentor. So by sending that out, you're contradicting that manifestation that you want to attract buyers or mentees into your business. So it's just a little bit of a mindset shift. Like I said, you're not expected to know everything. You're only one step ahead of the person you're bringing in, and that's enough. And sometimes newbies come in, they may know more than you. That's okay. You're going to learn together, right? So we never say that we're expert, to be honest. Nowadays, I think some of the mentees probably know more than I do in some part of the training. All right, guys. So as I said, I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to hop into that presentation on the start dash to 3A campaign. I'm sure all of you should have received this email from Enagic in the last week, because this campaign just launched as of October 1st. And I know it's very similar to the previous campaign that we have. It's like the campaign, the beef fast track to 3A with the Kangen beef. So this is similar, pretty much, for direct sale. I mean, for sale, or with 3 direct sale, then you advance. So I'll go through this, but as I go through it, if there's any part that you guys are unsure, just let me know. And then that way we can, clear the question, clarify everything. And then that way, yeah, you have questions, just feel free to stop me and ask the question. So the start dash to 3A campaign. What a mouthful that campaign name is. But anyway, so the effective date of the campaign has already started. So it started from October 1st. But they said it is only a limited time special campaign for the month of October only. So that's as of now. We don't know if at the end of October they might extend it till November, but it is only right now that for this campaign is only October. Because I know in the past they have other campaign that says it doesn't have an end date. It just have a starting date and no end date. So that means it's ongoing until they say, October is the last month. So, but for this, they did say only October unless they change and extend it. And then who is eligible? So it's eligible for all new distributors and existing distributors as well. Okay, so I'll go into detail how it works for new or existing distributors. But for this particular campaign, there are eligible products that you need to purchase to qualify. And these are what they call their core products. So that includes, I think my picture is a little bit messed up. This shouldn't be there, but oops. Anyway, so it's the Ukon Sigma level look machines, which is all the water ionizer, the kitchen machine. And then of course the Anespa. Okay, so those are the the 3 core products of Enagic. So then the non-core products are eligible products would be your M-Guard, the Kangen Air, or the Kangen Beef, right? So those are the non-eligible products. So you have to start with one of these, which is they call their core product. Alrighty. And how do we qualify for that? So to qualify for that, there is 2 steps that is required. So step number 1 is you got to register an account by purchasing an eligible product. So you have to start, for a new distributor, they have to start with one of those 3 products, Machine, Anespa, or Ukon Sigma. It has to be Sigma. It cannot be DD, okay? And then the step 2 is that they got to have 3 direct sale, place 3 direct sale. And so once that is done, then they would automatically advance and skip being a 2A, because normally in the normal Enagic world, so 1A first direct sale, 1A second direct sale, and your third direct sale is typically 2A. But for this campaign, you get to skip 2A and advance and be able to place this third direct sale in 3A, okay? But please note, so I said for existing distributors, obviously you're not going to buy a new one, because if you're an existing distributor, you can still be eligible for the products. If you already, started the business with an eligible product, then, and of course, right now you're just a 1A or a 2A and you want to go to 3A, but you can still advance to 3A after making 10 sales. But with this campaign, without making 10 sales, you can still advance to 3A. And this is by completing step 2, which means you got to have 3 direct sale. Okay. So any distributor registering during the campaign must make 2 direct sale within the 1 week of registration. And then existing distributor must make 2 direct sale within the 1 week of registration. And then the third step is making that third direct sale in the next week. So basically, in the first week after you, let's just say a new distributor joins, so they register. Actually, we have some case scenarios, so we'll go to that maybe with the visual, it's easier. So those are just the notes or the qualifying rules. I'll say that, and then we'll go in the case study from the slides from Enagic, and we'll talk, and maybe you have a question there. So another note that they have here is that Tokurai will not be counted as a direct sale. So if anyone bringing in Tokurai sale, that's not going to count. But I think for us, that's not a big thing, because none of us really are bringing in Tokurai distributor anyway. So a self-purchase will count as a direct sale. So you just say, like, people starting with a quadfecta, obviously the second, the third, and the fourth are self-purchase, so that will count. And then e-payment will also count as direct sale for this campaign as well. And then also the total sales performance, which is the total sales volume, will only count as 1. Even though with this campaign, you do advance to 3A, but your total sale, like for example, in this little picture here, even though now this main ID has level up or ranked 3A, in your bubble chart, if you go after you complete this, it will show 3A. And normally 3A, you got to have at least 10 points, and then plus your 11th point is your direct sale. But then with this campaign, obviously you already have 3A, but you technically only have 3 points, right? 3 total sales point. So your sales point still 1 per sale, even though you're a 3A. Okay, so if you want to get to 6A, you still need 100 sale. You can't just say, oh, I'm a 3A. That means I got it 10 points. So I only need another 90 points to get to 6A. Okay, so it's still 1 point per sale for that. So here are some case study or like scenario. Some of them are pretty straightforward. For example, this is case number 1, which is the standard case for new distributor. So for many of us, when we advertise, we have new buyers, which is planning to join the business as a new distributor. This is the case that is applicable to them. And so they would start with 4 products, which are like a quadfecta, but it has to be, one of the machine, Anespa or Ukon Sigma. So this Ukon, it says 3DD means Sigma, okay? It does not mean like a regular DD, because it has a 3 in front of it. That means it's a Sigma. It's just the way back office for Enagic code the Ukon Sigma is 3DD. Okay, so then they have to start, because right now in our standard quadfecta, in the pre-coaching video, one of the product is an M Guard, in the video that I did, or people can do a Kangen Air, or of course Kangen Beef. But for this campaign, it has to be machine, Anespa, or Sigma. So you can do all 4 Sigmas, that will qualify, all 4 Anespa, that will qualify, or a combination of a K8, 2 Anespa, 1 Ukon, or this combination's 2 K8, Sigma, and Anespa, okay? So with this, they do have the 3 direct sale, but there is another catch, that these first 2 direct sale that are in 1A must be completed within the first week after you register. So in this example, this person register their first ID, their main ID, on October 1st. So which means they have 7 days, so 1 week, to make the next 2 direct sale, or their first 2 direct sale. Okay, so then of course they made the first sale October 3rd, the second one October 7th. and then you have another week to complete and make your third direct sale to claim the 3A, like to be promoted, to skip 2A and be 3A. But you can also, we do a quadfecta, which means it's all completed in the first week. That's fine, right? She can do like register October 1st, October 1st, October 1st, October 1st. That's fine. It's just they gave you another grace period of another week to complete the third sale. But for us, if we have someone starting with a quadfecta, because they're doing self-purchase, is all done at once, that's fine. But if this is for someone that maybe they're not doing a quadfecta, but maybe they started trifecta, and if they have a third person or a new distributor join in within the second week of registering, because you have up to that second week, then they can still qualify. Okay, so I think that one is pretty straightforward, but is there any question you have regarding this scenario? If you do, you can either raise your hand or unmute yourself.
So
Oh.
yeah, can I ask a question?
Sure.
So it means that in Australia we have to have like machine in the both 1A leg instead,
Yes.
right? Because we don't have a Sigma.
That's right. So for Australia, unfortunately, you would have to do all machines or a NESPA. So because you don't have Sigma. So yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also we can't put a Kangen Air or Kangen
No, not for
No.
this campaign.
M
Cannot
guard
do
in
M
there.
guard or
Yeah.
things. So yes, unfortunately for Australia, it can only be a NESPA and any of the machine, like SD501, JR4, or K8, right? But cannot be the other product, unfortunately for Australia. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so then this is case number 2. This is a standard case for existing distributors. So maybe someone started the business back in September, or even they started like in 2020, okay, like 2 years ago, right? But they started with a K8, or most of us started trifecta is a NESPA, or even you started with a Ukon Sigma, that's fine, right? One of the core product, it doesn't matter when. So now if you are a 1A or a 2A currently, and you started the business, like whether you started last month or 2 years ago, but now you can qualify for this campaign, which means if you make these 3 direct sale, so the first 2 sale must be within 1 week from this. So let's say this, because I mean, obviously you started like a year ago, or this is like last month, obviously it's not going to be within 1 week of when this one was registered. So you have 1 week from the first direct sale that you're going to place starting in October, because this campaign is for this month, right? So let's say you got this sale in Sigma in on October 3rd, then you have another sale October 9th, and then you have your third sale October 16th. So these two are within 1 week of each other. And then this third one is within that second week from the date you register. So you qualify. As you can see in this example, this person, is start with a K8. They already have 1 direct sale, but that happened like before. So this will not count because this sale happened before the campaign date, which is October, right? So it's not going to count. So it's like you have to make a brand new 3 direct sale to qualify for this promotion. Okay. So still, yeah, basically that's it, because you already have that distributor ID already, so you're not purchasing a new one. You just need to make 3 direct sale, the first 2 within a week, and then the third one within 2 weeks. Any question regarding this scenario for existing distributor? Because this might be applicable for someone for yourself, or someone in your team that wants to, maybe they for some reason on budget, they only started with 1 product. So now if they complete their quadfecta by purchasing the core product, they will advance to 3A. And as you can see with this structure, with our quadfecta, normally this is 2A, but then we place all sales under here. So this one get 1, and this one gets 2 with our original quadfecta for a total of 3 points, or 3 slice of commission. But with this campaign, it's 3A. So someone starting with a quadfecta right now can, with their very first distributor or first business partner that joined, they can earn 4 pieces of commission instead of just 3, right? With our standard quadfecta. So this is good for existing distributor that didn't start with a quadfecta and they want to complete it now and advance to 3A. So we good here? I'm going to move on. So this is example of a non-eligible product. So this case will not qualify to rank up to 2A. So for example, in Australia, because you don't have Sigma, if someone start with an Ukon DD and then they still made 3 direct sale, which I guess, oh wait, I skipped that one. So 3 direct sale, which are the eligible product, Sigma, K8, and Anespa. And then the dates is still within a week and then within the second week. But because they started with a non-eligible product, so they will not qualify. So this is just a regular standard rank up. It will just be placed in 2A, okay? So this is no question there. This is very straightforward. And then here is an example of a non-eligible case. So they did start with a core product, but unfortunately, one of their direct sale is an M-Guard, which is not an eligible product. So again, their third direct sale will just be a 2A like regular, even though they did complete it all in the right time frame, like within a week, 2 direct sale, and then the third one within 2 weeks. But because of this being a non-eligible product, they did not qualify to rank up. And then, so here are 2 special condition cases. So this is the number 1. So a distributor with an eligible product that is already a 3A. So if you're already 3A, I mean, there's no point buying 3 products to advance to 3A because you're already at a 3A, right? So what you can do, let's say you're an existing 3A, you could be a 3A, a 4A, a 6A even, and now you can participate in this campaign by making by stacking, right? By doing a self-purchase, and then you have 3 direct sale, and then that would advance your new ID to 3A. But because, as you can see, this is just Ukon DD, is not one of eligible product, because you are an existing distributor and you already have an account that is existing, that is a eligible product. So you are not required to purchase like as your next ID, your next stacking ID to be eligible product. You can start with, I guess, M-Guard, Ukon DD, Beef, or Kangen Air here, but the 3 direct sale must be the eligible products for machines, Anespa, or Sigma. So this is for anyone that is in the business and already 3A and above, and maybe you haven't stacked yet. So you can consider doing this as your stacking strategy. But to be honest, I don't feel this stacking strategy helps because you're investing in 4 products. But with our traditional stacking, you only need to invest in 3 products and you're stacking 3 level deep and you're getting 7 commission. So let's say you stack, this is a 3A. So this will be 3A. And by doing this, then this account, if any sales you put under here, this one gets 1 slice, this Ukon DD gets 3, and then this K8 will get 3, so a total of 7. But I feel like you're investing in more because you're investing a total of 4 products and 3 of them has to be the core product. But if we just invest in our standard stacking, which is normally a Ukon, a machine, which could be an M-Guard or a Kangen Air, and then another Ukon is only 3, but we still collect up to 6 to 7 points, right? So like in our strategy with our stacking strategy, I feel like this campaign is not like advantage for us that are 3A and above. It's definitely for a new distributor or for someone that is 2A and below. Okay, Lynn, go ahead. You have a question.
I think this strategy will work well for stacking as well because each of our stacking still need to have 2 legs, right, to rank up, right? So in the next future, we don't just put on the Anespa 3A, but we can put in one of the leg 1A because that is the 2 leg for one account.
Okay, yeah, you do have a good point, Lynn. So that Lynn does have a point that I never thought. So as we stack, normally we stack 1, 2, 3. There's one more under here, and we put all future sales under that third stack. Then we're just building one leg like straight in a line. But as you know, our 6A 2-3 chart is like every leg have to have 2 branch. So Lynn is saying by doing this in the future, we place sales here, we build this up to 6A. And then we can also start placing sales here and build this account up to 6A. And that will make this a 6A2. And then if this main ID have another leg that got to 6A2 over here, that will make it a -2. So that is a good strategy of doing this way, which advance this to 3A, and then we'll start building this one later, but this will be less points, right? But you can also buy another Ukon here, and then you can start building that. Yeah, so with that in mind, it can still work if you have the investment to, invest and do the stacking right now, and take advantage of that. But like I said, it will work. But at the same time, if we just do our standard stacking 1, 2, 3, and we build here in the future, we can also buy another one. And by then, this one should have enough point that you will advance to 3A or even 4A already. So this could be a fast track if you're just a 2A, and if you want to do this, and instead of building this up to a 3A with the new campaign, you can do this strategy, and actually this would be just a 2A leg, and then this would give you early stacking with more points or more slice of commission. Okay, any other suggestion or input on that? Okay, Yang, you go ahead.
Oh, Coach Karen, I just want to clarify one thing, because just now you mentioned about the traditional stacking that we do, right? It's machine, Ukon machine, and then Ukon, right?
Yes.
But the other day when we had the strategies call, I think I had written down the notes that you recommend beef, Ukon, and beef. So is that the correct one, or is it different?
That's because you want it to incorporate the beef, like take advantage of the
Okay.
beef campaign. So yours is not the traditional stacking, because you're trying to take advantage of the beef promotion by buying the beef and advancing to 3A. So because you already have a beef, so getting an Ukon to protect. And then in the future, if you just want to stack one more level deep and with the least expensive amount, you can do another beef, but just realize that last beef will not be protected by an Ukon, right? So normally it should be another Ukon to make sure it's protected. But I said you can do the beef, but just realize that beef will not get Ukon commission or points for any future sales under that second beef that doesn't have an Ukon to protect it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Got it.
Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
Karen, I just want to add, just with this screen as well, if anyone who's doing this strategy, they need to have an Ukon protecting the Anespa if they want to start stacking under that Anespa, because, they're not going to qualify for Ukon points and commission for that Anespa account at the bottom here as well, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So if anyone is doing this strategy, just keep in mind, yes, this does advance to, this one advanced to 3A, but this Anespa, any future sale we place under here, it is not protected by Ukon. So because when you place a sale directly under this Anespa, it will give it SB status, so special point status, which qualify to earn full commission. But any Ukon sales, you will not earn Ukon points or commission. And then the other thing is, obviously any direct sale is fine, but in the future, as your team grows, and if you don't have any direct sale and all your commissions are coming from your indirect sale from your team, then this one may lose out on commission or maximize the commission, because it will not be an SB status and it will lose that full commission. So that is just something to consider. It's just what is it, give or take, right? So you can invest and buy an Ukon to make sure it's protected and earn all the commission. Because the thing with Ukon is that, let's just say I have an Ukon sale I put under here. It's not protected. So this one will not earn any Ukon points, but it will get passed up. So normally, let's say with a machine, this one gets 1 point for machine, this one gets 3. And let's say this is in a 3A, so this one gets 3. So that's a total of 7. But let's say, and then of course, 1 is left to pass up to the account above, which is your mentor or your sponsor. But let's say if I started with an Ukon here, since this is not protected by Ukon, this will not get commission or point, but it skips this. It comes up to here. So this one gets 3, this one gets 3 for a total of 6. Now we have 2 points for Ukon left that are passed up to the mentor instead of just 1. So this one is like, unlike the machine where it keeps a point, and if it's not SB status, it will not receive commission, but it still keeps a point. But with Ukon, it actually skips, and you're not losing out on the commission. It just gets passed up to the person above, and it's going to go up to your mentor. So you may lose out on it, but your mentor is still going to receive it. But for example, let's say if this is a 4A, right? Then this one gets 3 and this one's 7. And if you do have this Ukon protected, you're just getting another slice here. So that's why something you gotta weigh the differences. Sometimes that's why it's case by case. So I only like if you have a limited budget and you're not your business is not growing at a rate where it really makes sense to renew 2 Ukon per year, then I would not invest in this Ukon and just forfeit the commission and the points for Ukon instead of buying an Ukon. But in the end, you know, like for example, a Sigma in Canada now costs like 3,500. But if I'm not going to make 3,500 in commission just for this Ukon account, because everything I'll still make just for this, then it's not worth it for me to invest in that Ukon, right? So, but then if my business is really booming and I'm making, you know, I'm getting like 3 quadfecta a month, which means probably my Ukon commission in the year is probably going to be more than 3,000. So it's worth it to invest. So it's just the rate of your business. So you'll have to gauge, right? So it's like there's no point. It's almost like owning a restaurant, and you know there's special drinks that's really good, but then not everybody's going to order. But you need to order that drink in bulk to really when the supplier supply, they don't just sell you 1 or 2 cans. They got to sell you like a pallet of it. But if you're going to invest in it, but in a year, you're not going to be able to sell enough of that drink to, you know, make back your costs. And there's no point supplying that drink in your restaurant. You just have to say no to your customer. We don't have that, and that's fine. But you don't have enough customer requesting that drink that you're going to lose out on it. So it's just like every situation is different. So if you are in that situation, just, you know, chat with your coach or your mentor, or if you need to, reach out to me, and then we can look at it and I can advise, you know, if it's worth it for you to invest in the Ukon, because you know your business best, right? Because I don't have it, you know, I cannot manage and see everyone's business. So that's why it's like your coach or your mentor will know best to advise you. But if we do but normally we do the standard is like Ukon, so that you have 4 accounts. Then after the year, then you can choose not to renew if it's not working out for you, right? Going a bit off topic, but that's okay. Anyway, so condition number 2, non-eligible product participation here. So I know in the previous original slides that they sent out, they say that this one qualify, right? That someone starts with a M guard, because earlier on here they have October 1st. But the only way that a non-eligible product is eligible for this campaign if they register prior to October 1st, because they didn't know about this campaign before October, and they already started the business with an M guard, and now they see this campaign, they still can participate and make those 3 direct sale and advance to 3A, right? Normally, a brand new distributor starting now in the month of October cannot start with an M guard and qualify. But if someone prior to October 1st started the business with 1 product or 2 products and their main ID is an M guard, they can still qualify to rank up, because I guess they're grandfathered in because they started with the M guard prior to the this campaign. Any question about this one? I think that's pretty, because earlier they made a mistake. They put M guard, but they say here October 1st, which means the date that the campaign started. So which is like kind of implying that someone can start with a non-eligible product and still qualify if they make 3 eligible product sale. Okay, so that's it regarding that campaign. I know it's pretty straightforward, but of course there's a few little bits maybe now that after this you have clarity on the campaign. But if there's any Q&A about that, I know we had it along the way as I was going through, but if someone's got something they want to ask, like feel free to, you know, put up your hand or just unmute yourself and ask the question. And then, so while you guys are thinking of that, there's just a few other kind of updates I want to add to that. So we know that the beef campaign, the fast track to 3A, have ended as of September 30th. Like, so that's why they have this new campaign for October. So you can still buy the beef at their still promoted price, $8.80 for the first set, then $7.80, $6.80, and $5.80 plus $60 shipping. And of course, only available for shipping within the USA. But if, for example, I'm in Canada, I can still order the beef like as a user, I can't get it as a distributor. I can still buy the beef as a user, but I would just have to have that beef shipped to an American address, so somewhere in the USA. So because I'm close enough to the border that I can drive across, so that I would just get it shipped to someone I know that lives close by the border. Then I would just drive over there, pick it up, and bring it back. So I did that last week when I went to visit my sister-in-law, and on the way back, I also brought some beef back. So if you're by the border, guys, you can bring beef back to Canada. There is a limit on how much you can bring, but we're not importing a lot, so we're fine because all our beef have labeled that it's, because one of the rules, it has to be manufactured or produced in the USA for us to bring it to Canada. So for Canadian, that works, okay? Okay, Xenia and Armando, you have your hands up. Go ahead, guys.
Yes, I have a question. I just had an idea. I was talking to Xenia about it today, and it's about the beef. So, let's say, for example, I have customers that want the product, that want the beef, but they don't want to be distributors. What would you recommend?
Then just sell it to them as a user, right? So they would just
Okay.
buy it as a user. So you can buy it as a user. The first set is 880, 780. But then I asked yesterday, so let's just say today I make a purchase of 4 orders. So of course my 4th one is 580, but that's just this month. Okay, I tried, I liked it. Then maybe next month I want to reorder the beef. So when I make that order again, am I paying 880 again, on the first set? And then if I buy all 4 sets at once, I'll be able to order the 4th set at 580. So the answer is no, because I'm a repeating customer. So the next time I order the next set, which is the 5th set, right? Because I already had 4, so I can still get the 580 pricing. So it's sort of like a loyalty pricing, right? So
Yeah,
that's
that's a
a big
good
plus.
deal.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
a big plus for people if they do end up loving the beef and enjoying it and they want to purchase it just for consumption and like you said, not to build a business, then that's fine. They can still reorder as a consumer, and then you would just put them under, I think with Enagic, whatever sponsor ID you put them under originally, when they reorder, they still have to reorder under the original ID number. That the sponsor ID number. So it's just like you put in the order again, put the same distributor ID, but now you can put that beef, if you have enough points, maybe instead of putting them in your 2A lane, maybe you have enough points that they can register that beef order in 3A or 4A so that you would get more of the commission or more of the slices of commission. And that's what I would recommend as a user, especially, or because it would be under their name, but unless you personally know this person kind of thing. And if you want to leverage and actually use that beef so you can have extra distributor ID to build your business as in stacking, then yes, you can probably put the beef order under your name in distributor and have it shipped to your friend, right? Or to your customer.
Okay.
And then that would just be shipped to them. Like that could be a way
See-
if you wanted to use that beef order so that you can open a distributor account because that person's not going to do the business, right? So you can do that as well, right? So the order will be under your name as a distributor, and then maybe just for the first or second product, or if you want to stack it, right? The first beef and then the second beef, but then of course there's no UConn protecting it. And then, you can reorder under yourself, like, that's a self-purchase. And then you can have it shipped to wherever your customer lives. Yeah.
Technically speaking, you could be still stacking and earning commissions on those sales, right?
That's 100%. So each beef order will be treated like a product, right? Is like an Ukon DD or an Anespa or a machine, right? So it's just that the cost is only 580 for an order. And then each of them will be issued a beef ID.
Okay,
Yeah, that's good.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm.
Let me see. I think they're Okay, so yeah, I was gonna get to that, Sucklene. I was thinking that as I was talking. So how many beef distributor allow per individual? I believe that originally said only one beef ID per person. So that means you can use them as your beef ID. So the first one would be the beef ID, then all future beef order will go under that beef ID, right? So then that beef ID will get points, and then that the sponsor ID, whatever it may be, Ukon or machine. So then you can only have one beef order. So basically you can only have actually only one level of beef. So one beef ID only. You can't have multiple beef ID. You are right, Saklina. Okay, guys, so that's regarding the beef that you can, if you have repeated order, they will still count that, counting forward. Just say if you order one beef in August and now you order your second one, if it's still under the same name, the same customer name and then the same sponsor, then that will be counted as your second order. Or if you already done 4 orders, then now it will be your 5th order. So you'll be at the 580 like price. Not anytime soon. Do you know when the beef? Yeah, the same thing with Canada. Like, we're not going to get beef anytime soon. So obviously every country importing like food, it goes through a lot of like steps for it to be approved. So I know for the US, the reason they're able to do that is because the beef or the cattle are actually raised in the USA. And then obviously they are slaughtered, they are packaged and shipped within the USA. So that's why they're allowed. So these beef are not being produced in Japan and being shipped to the US. Even like the cattle are being imported into the US from from Japan, is a crossbred. So they apparently, I heard that they bring the Angus beef from the US to Japan. They crossbred with their Wagyu beef. So they have this crossbred, then they reship those crossbred beef cattle, like live cattle, back to the US farm where they are raised until they are ready to be, I guess, slaughtered and make into beef for us to consume. So because it is raised in a US farm, and I guess they meet all the requirement for US agriculture and farming, so that's where they're allowed to sell. And that is why they can only ship within the US, because they're only, I guess, licensed to sell these products to USA. So that's why. And I think for Canada, I know that they are working on finding a farm or partnering with a farm where they can import these beef, like just the way they did with the US, and raise them in Canada. And obviously to the point where they can, come out with the meat and sell to us. So guys, if you guys are in Canada and you know any cattle farmers that are interested in partnering up with Enagic to raise cattle, or even in the US, you can reach out and see, because I know they're looking, and because thanks to our community being large, like, Enagic is Enagic. They're not gonna know everything everywhere in the world. So if you have friends or someone that have cattle farm and want to partner up, they can reach out or get in touch and they can have a chat. Who knows? Maybe by doing that, we'll get beef in Canada sooner. Or the same thing with Australia.
I think I'll move to Canada and become
start a cattle farm.
a beef wrangler.
Yeah, and start a cattle farm. Yes, opportunities. Or maybe, I don't know if that's the same situation in Australia, right? So anybody that's got a cattle farm in Australia, and maybe partner with Enagic to raise these beef. Yes, definitely a business opportunity. Okay, so that's the beef. I think those are the recent update regarding the housekeeping that was presented at Enagic yesterday at our meeting. So like I said, the last little bit here, about half an hour left, I just want to open up for some Q&A. So if you guys have some question as a newbie, or if someone is running, I guess, struggling with ads, we won't go into details about ad, but general questions about ad, or just in general, or if someone has something to share, right? So if you're doing something and then you found a way and that works better and you're getting results, it would be great. If you are open to share all that would be, for us to learn from. Okay. just reading the message. Nita's gonna run off for a coaching call. So no question today. Everything seems very straightforward. Well, if there's no question, then I guess we will end this early today. So like I said, this is the last quarter. If you are running ads, that's great. If you're not, I would consider, getting your ads at least. If you're not up and running yet, at least start putting stuff together, because we know that our business, the booming is, what is it? The reaping time is January, right? So beginning of the year, it's over the past 10 years. It's always been that we know that in January, February, March, that's when our business really like takes off, because of just psychology of human, where new year, new me, new opportunity, new try, like kind of new everything. So they're more adept to taking on new risk or new opportunity, right, in the new year. So they're trying to, starting the new year fresh, doing something new, creating something different. So that's why people are willing to give new opportunity a try in the new year. So if you guys, have your ads up, even start running toward like after Christmas, I say, right? Before the holidays, people are kind of busy. They might not, they might be interested, but they might not take action. But definitely after Christmas, or in the beginning of the year, when they're really starting, thinking about, their life. Because usually when we turn a new year, we do reflect, what happened in 2025, what am I going to do different in 2026 to, get me closer to where I want to be. So some of these things do get on people's mind, and seeing our opportunity that can help them kind of open a door or show them an opportunity that they can have new ways of doing things. What else? So I think that's about it. So anything you guys want to share from Jackson or Lynn or even Washi, the coaches that are on here?
I see Jessie had her hand up.
Oh, okay, Jesse, go ahead.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you again for sharing all the information. I'm just wondering to know from you, because I'm quite new to the team. Can you please share with us that your ad strategy in YouTube versus Facebook? Are you putting the same ad into these two channels, or are you having different strategy to impress it?
Okay, so that's a great question. So, to be honest, my time when I had the winning ad back in the days, which is 7 years ago, is definitely different. So if you've been around as I have, maybe Emily and Jackson and Kim knows, the algorithm, the platform has changed. So before, you can get away with a picture and some text, and you can get a winning ad out of that. But nowadays, we know that that is very small chance of getting a winning ad. So now the algorithm favors, and also people our attention spans getting shorter, so they are more in depth to video ads. So that's why before, when we're on Facebook, we didn't have to do video ads, but if we go onto YouTube, definitely you have to, because YouTube is a video platform. So the thing is with YouTube and Facebook, because they are two different platforms, but at the end of the day, we are running the same ads, but because of the different restriction, so typically the same video you use on Facebook, you can probably run it on YouTube, but a YouTube ad you're running on YouTube may not be able to run on Facebook, because YouTube have fewer restriction than Facebook. So Facebook is more restrictive in what kind of words you can use, what kind of text, what kind of image. I know YouTube is a little bit more lenient, but I know within the last year, they are tightening up, and more people are finding themselves getting restriction or suspended because of certain content they're putting out. So again, just follow the thing. And I think now that before, I guess they're very two different platforms, but I think in the last few years, I do feel that they're merging into very similar. So with what we all know in the past few years, with the emergence of TikTok, where it just takes off really fast. So now to keep up, like obviously YouTube and Facebook want to get more user onto their platform. They don't want to lose user to TikTok. So now they're, that's why they have Facebook Reels or Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, because before YouTube was usually long videos, no short videos, but because they find TikTok's very successful with shorts, so then they have these YouTube Shorts, and they have been favoring that because they're trying to move TikTok user back onto that platform because they're providing the same content like the YouTube shorts, right? So they are favoring the shorts a lot more. So, and then the same thing with Facebook as well, where they are favoring short videos because they, again, they are competing with TikTok, and that's why they're favoring it more. But you guys seen the last mastermind Darren presented. I feel like everything in life is a circle. So just like fashion, you know, you have skinny pants, skinny jeans, and then now you're going to the wide leg, and then maybe 10 years later you'll go back to skinny. So everything is in a circle. So I feel with Facebook is the same thing, where before they favor like text and picture with longer text, like that tells a story, engagement, but then they shift it to short videos and reels and go lives and stories. But now they are circling back to favoring longer content, right? That adds more value than rather just short entertainment like reels, because reels is a 90-second, sometimes 30-second, which is more entertainment and not as informative. So they're trying to create and build back that social where it's more of a connection and not just for a short quick entertainment. So Darren did say that the platform like Instagram in particular is favoring more longer posts, like longer text posts. So that's why the algorithm is always shifting, and the you know the platform's always changing. So we just have to go with what's happening now. So in term, can you use the same video on both platform? Yes. So it just depends on what kind of wording and if there's any restriction. So normally if I do find a winning ad for YouTube, I know if it's a winning video there, then I'm going to test it on Facebook as well. But often we do find that just because it's successful on YouTube, when we try it on Facebook, it's not successful, because sometimes the crowd that is on Facebook may be different than the audience on YouTube, even though your targeting is the same, but it's just that the two platform will have two different types of users almost, right? So maybe it's successful on one platform, but it's not. But of course, there are people that have the same video successful on both platforms. So for me, I've never really ran two videos on the same platform, because in the beginning for me it was all Facebook. There was nothing, no YouTube at all. So I was successful there. So then when I started, you know, testing out YouTube, I didn't use my old, because I didn't use my content from Facebook because it wasn't a video. It didn't have, it has just, one of it was a slideshow. So it has no voice, no sound, just music. So I don't think that's engaging enough for YouTube. And then so I didn't use that. But then for YouTube, I actually created different videos. And then I was, because at that time my Facebook was restricted, so I couldn't run Facebook. So I was just on YouTube only. So for me, I have not personally have the same video on two platforms at the same time. So I'm not sure if anyone here use the same video on both platforms and are both successful that can share. Anyone? No?
We did.
Okay.
We had our winning ad. We started with YouTube first, and then it ran over 1 year, and it's still generating leads and buyers. And then until that, our account got, we didn't pass the verification, and then even before that, we moved it to Facebook, and then we tested there, and then when we first started, it also generated good response. So that's the ad that we're running on both platforms, and it's also working successful.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go. So, but I do find typically if it's a winning ad on one platform, it will perform well and it will become winning ad on the other platform too. But like I said, it's not guaranteed. It may not. So I'm just saying, you know, just because it's on Facebook, that a winning ad does not guarantee it will be on YouTube. But I feel typically it will be, but it's not guaranteed. So we still have to test it. That's all. Okay, Jesse.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome. Okay, I think I have a question. So you mean now Facebook is back to long text and pictures? Well, yes. So that's what the recent stats has shown, that they are favoring longer text and pictures, but that's like for posts, right? To grow your engagement, or they're pushing that content out more. But I'm not sure in terms of ads, will that be attracting more to like the audience rather than the video? So that's, I'm not sure. So this is just talking about engagement in terms of posting on Facebook and Instagram. So do you know, okay, we talk about the beef. We don't know when it will be in Australia. And then she has, how much did you pay for your YouTube ads, as you have just said, Emily?
Okay. For YouTube, right? We ran $20, like 10 for US, 10 for Canada.
Okay.
Two separate ads.
Two
Two
separate
separate
campaigns.
campaign, but same videos.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, so their ad budget was $10 for running that same video in the US and $10 for Canada on YouTube. So, okay. So I hope that answered your question, Nam. So that's a very straightforward. Anybody else that have question?
I think there is a Barbara also mentioned you wanna turn on your mic and chat to Sis Karen about your concern. Maybe some word of encouragement from you for someone who like me, being in the business for a while, posting every day, daily in all the platform but no transaction. Yeah, you wanna turn on the camera. I mean, like your microphone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
This is my first time here in your Zoom meeting. So it's nice to be here. It's nice to finally talk to a celebrity in my world.
Welcome.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, I've been in the business since March of 2023. And I have been posting religiously and I've been running ads as well. But I have no traction still. I don't understand it. I had buyers before. I had two business partners, but they all just quit. They all quit as well. So, and I have a lot of refunds too. I don't plan on quitting. When I joined the business, when I started business, I gave myself 5 years. I told myself I'm gonna give my all for 5 years, and let's see what happens there. And I'm running on my 2.5.
Okay. Alrighty, Barbara. I'm sure there's others that's probably in the same boat as you. And thank you for being honest and for being brave and coming just to, share, right? Because it takes a lot of courage because people always
Yeah.
come on here and share their glory, like their rank up, their buyers, their distributors. But the one that's not getting results, they would just sit back and quiet and just thinking, oh, it's only me it's not working or that. But thank you so much. I really, admire you and applaud you for being brave and doing that, and it takes a lot of courage. So like for me, I feel like you said, you're religiously posting, right? So at the end of the day, I know we did this presentation a while ago, is not the doing, because I know some of us get caught up in the doing and the being busy, like you're posting, you're following the training, doing, but you're just the doing. So we did a presentation where you have to be the being as well, right? So
Oh, I've been trying
yeah,
that too.
so
Manifestation.
sometimes,
Yeah, I've been
yes,
doing.
sometimes it's just that mindset shift, right? So I know that is like how I mentioned earlier, where we all want buyers and distributors, but sometimes in our head is like we get these thoughts, oh, why am I not getting distributors? Why am I getting no buyers? Why is I'm just like you said, how come I'm not getting any traction? So you're having these thoughts with you're manifesting. So the thing is, like, are you ready to be a mentor? Are you ready to step up? And also, when you say posting religiously, what are you posting? Are you posting having value? Are you adding value? Are you getting traction from the content, right? Because I know I've mentored people, they religiously post 3 days, but they just take a Google photo, good morning, and that's their post, right? One of those pretty pictures that says good morning or good night, sleep tight, or God bless, or have a great day. Like that's, if I go to a page that have all these like generic quotes and stuff, is not adding any value, is not, adding any value. I don't know anything about you. So it always come back to, in order for people to trust you enough to explore your offer or your opportunity, we have to be, willing to open ourselves up and let them into our world a little bit. And I know for a lot of us, it's very uncomfortable being on social media, showing up and sharing your little world. And like I said, is for them to trust you enough and to open up. So to be honest, because I don't know what kind of content you do, so that's why it's hard for me to say. So do maybe the next month we'll have a business page review so we can see what kind of content people are posting.
That would be great. I would love for you to look at my page,
We'll do
and find some
Yeah, so
constructive
then
criticism.
also you said you are doing ads. Again, of course, it's about testing, right? So we've seen, people do one ad, two ad, three ads, and they felt like that's a lot already. Because they expect the first ad to be the winning ad that's gonna their business take off. But typically that's not the case. We all know that. And so then even after their third, their fourth, their fifth, they felt like the business is not working. Like I've done ads, it's not working. But if you go on some of the mastermind, you hear from some of these 6As, it took them 33 ads to find their winning ads. It might took them more than that. So it's just that even though we say, but you say you're giving your all 100%. Like to be honest, guys, if we personally do a personal audit, a lot of us say we give 100%. But if you do a personal audit and you're being 100% honest with yourself, I'm sure if you haven't seen the results, you are not truly giving your 100% yet, right? So if we're being honest, we're just doing, because sometimes we get so caught up in the doing, we're doing so much for the business, we're spending so much time, we're so busy, but we're not getting the results. But it's just that sometimes the busyness, the doing is not productive. Like you're doing, but is what you're doing productive, right? Or you're posting, or like I know sometimes posting takes time, but sometimes maybe you take very long time to do a post, but then that consume a lot of your time, but then that's not getting the result. So I know before when what I advise, I'm not sure if you've joined, but if you haven't, I really highly recommend you join the 6A and beyond cohort, the challenge that they have in My DT Online where PB Brennan hosts it. So it's every 3 months they'll have a new cohort start, and in there they actually give you daily tasks and they give you things to do that helps you move your business forward. So if anybody in here feels lost, even if you've been in the business for 2 years or 1 year or 6 months, and you just need more of a structure, because that in that group they do weekly mastermind, they do weekly training, and they have a lot of stuff to support people that feels lost. Because I know sometimes as mentors, coaches, we can't, some people are not in the space where they have that time to host everything weekly and have that support, but being in there, it might help you, right? So just do a personal audit, right? Because with just you just sharing that, and I'm not sure exactly what you're posting, what your ad's like, and how often do you test your ad? Because sometimes when people say they test ad, they don't change the video, they only change the location of their ad, or they change the platform. They'll test Facebook, didn't work, they'll go to YouTube, but it's still the same video. So that means you're not truly testing, you're just putting out the video hoping that it will work better by changing the targets, by changing the location. But the actual thing that needs to change is actually the video itself, right? So
I do really a lot. I hope you would I would volunteer for an audit. So
I will have you're on the list for the audit
yeah.
next month, and then I'll probably take on 2 other pages. We'll do 3-page audit, and then so people can see, what kind of content that people are posting that will bring in engagement, that will bring in that adds value. So at the end of the day, it's all about adding value, right? So
I
when
really want you to see my
yeah,
posts.
so if
So.
you add then you will attract people. Okay. So words of encouragement is like, that's good that you're giving yourself 5 years, because you do know that it's a long-term gain. And I know you're 2.5, but we do have some slow bloomers in the community that don't take off in their second or third year, right? So I still believe that if you're still in it, and if you guys keep going, and each day you make a little improvement, eventually you will find that winning ad, you will find that breakthrough. But the one thing that I do encourage you or anybody here in the same situation is, instead of focusing on the doing, instead of posting more, doing more, maybe go back and work on the inner thing, right? Go start listening to some podcasts, some YouTube videos, go read some books, like just kind of do that mental reset, or that mental thing where I think sometimes it all starts on the inner. Because I know the same, like to be honest, I can share because I'm sure I remember Jackson and Emily in the beginning. Maybe it didn't take you 2.5 years, but I still remember they did a lot, they test a lot. And one day we had this same Zoom, it's a one-on-one with them. And we talked something about, the mental shift. And all of a sudden, I remember you guys, your business took up. And I asked you, what did you do different? And you said, nothing, Karen. It's just that we had this mental shift and everything just aligned. So do you want to share that a little bit, Emily?
Yes, yes. I was also going to add on something with Barbara. I know that now, since you really want to have your business take out that your first business partner and so on, but now when I look back, I really kind of miss the times that when we've had our slower start, that we have a bunch of time that we can do things that we love. For example, I remember in our team that some people have a slower start. They focusing not just on doing just like what Karen mentioned. They focus on their mindset. Talking about mindset, we talk about we want to enjoy the business. We want to love doing the business for. So they find out something that they have passion about. For example, they do interviews, they do go lives, they go back to the training, starting to do the training again. They learn for themselves. So they're not doing the business just for getting the result. They really enjoy the process, the journey, and then they found a lot of personal growth. And that is a luxury that us, for me, and I'm sure maybe for Karen and other coaches too, that we don't have, because now we're busy managing the team, focusing more on um, building the team and for the bigger picture. So sometimes I really want to go back to, do more interviews or the training that we didn't have the luxury, we didn't have the time. And then now we have a bigger team to manage. And so for you now, you can really build your muscle for your next business partner to join. And I do feel that the biggest mindset shift for us for our business to take off is that we feel happy, that we really enjoy the business with result or without with or without the results. So I think that's where yeah, I remember that's what we did. We tried.
Yep.
I do though everything that both of you, Karen, Emily, and Jackson said. I do all of that. That's the thing. I wouldn't probably be doing it every day or daily if I don't enjoy it. That's the thing. I love doing it. And I do change my mindset. I tried um I tried on that starting 6 months ago. you know, so I tried being that person. I really did. And so I guess yeah, just hearing from you guys, this is my first time here in the Zoom. Hearing Karen talking to me is a huge thing. And Emily and Jackson, you guys' videos are the first ones I saw and sent to my leads, when you guys talk about what this business about, or is it a scam or MLM. I mean, I still have that. So you guys are amazing for talking directly to me, and I'm actually recording this and it's giving me chills, but thank you for all. But just to let you guys know, I do all of that, and I really
I,
would love for you to check my page and just quick scroll and see what you could find, because I do believe that I give value to it. I enjoy recording myself. I don't have shame in that, you know. But that's what I wanted to
I
say
think
and share.
in some of our team members, we recently started doing the accountability partner as well. So I don't know if you already have one or you're working with one. That could be something that you work, because sometimes when we're doing by ourselves, we kind of get stuck, right? If you have somebody else who work with you, encourage each other, I think it's part of plugging in. Like you say, it's your first time joining a Zoom like this. I mean, Karen's Zoom. I assume you're Karen's team, right? So that's something you can start doing more of, like joining like PB's group, right? That's one thing. Like I think plugging in, get in a social setting, uh, maybe get some support from there. Maybe that's something else that you can consider. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, because our team is small, and something happened to our coach there for family reasons. That's why they kind of fell off. Though they're not,
Okay.
yeah, they're not absent, but there's really lesser communication there. And so that's why they ask us, to join the Thriving Entrepreneurs and the other coaches team, which is actually manifested because I told myself I want to be surrounded by successful people. And how can I be surrounded by successful people when I'm here in an island? I live in Hawaii. I don't have anybody, around. I can't go to Canada or to the mainland because the fare is so expensive. I'm on workers' comp right now. I got injured at work 6 months ago. That's why I have been really focusing on this one. But yeah, I told myself I need to be surrounded with successful people so I can be one of those success. I only asked for four, but he gave me a huge group of people here, and now you guys are talking directly to me. That's amazing. So
That's
I
awesome.
think I think it's coming.
Yes, it is. Thanks, Barbara. Okay, so Jesse, you have another question in the chat. So just wondering if there's any other platform that I can suggest to start building except for YouTube and Facebook. So we all know there are multiple social media platforms. So we have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn. So the I only, what I suggest is focus on which platform you're comfortable with. So for me, it's always been Facebook. So I'm starting Instagram, but it still is not my thing. So I still fall back to Facebook. So I always recommend, especially when you're new, focus on one platform. Concentrate on building your brand on that platform first before you start exploring or trying to, because otherwise you're dividing your attention, your energy, and that way you're not getting anywhere, right? So for ads, you can run ads on YouTube, but build your brand on Facebook because YouTube doesn't need you to build a brand to run ads, right? So just use YouTube. But if you want to grow your channel and stuff on YouTube, which I feel like it takes a lot more effort because it's all video that you have to put out, and any platform to grow on there, you got to be consistent. So consistent means you have to diligently, consistently post like, 3 or 5 times a day, or minimum is one. But if you want to go fast or build more, you need to post multiple times a day. And that's being consistent. You can't just, have lots of time excited and you post 4 or 5 times today. And then tomorrow you get busy and you post nothing. And then the next day you post one. Then the next day you post five. And then you go back to five and then one. So they like consistent. So that's why, where there's someone said that, treat this like a business and you will receive the rewards as a business. You'll reap that, because if you just treat it like a hobby, you're just going to earn as a hobby. So I know, because we're all independent distributor or business owner, you have nobody looking over your shoulder. Oh, Kim, you didn't post 3 times today. What happened? Right? Because it's your business. We tell you the guideline, what you're supposed to do, but we're not here to babysit you and tell you what to do, because we're all grown adult. We're all our own business owners. So you got to be accountable for your business, or accountable to yourself and showing up. So choose one platform, the one that resonate or that you're most comfortable with, and build that first, right? Once you have a solid brand on that platform, and if you want to grow beyond, then explore learning something else, like learning TikTok or YouTube, right? So don't think, oh, TikTok is, you hear people taking off good and you jump over there. But when you jump over there, you don't have consistency, you're not going to get anywhere either. And now you just have divided your attention and wasted your time on TikTok. That's not going to go anywhere because you're not consistent. Okay, so choose one platform and focus on building that. And I think the easiest one is Facebook. But then if you're not a Facebook, then maybe Instagram. Okay, so yes. Okay, Kaya, I think you have your hands up, so go ahead.
Hi, Coach Karen. I'm so glad to have a chance to ask a question. So what is your recommendation on how long the advertisement should run on the platform?
So how long you run ads? You mean like in testing an ad? Like how long do you?
Yes, I'm new in this
Okay.
field. So my first ad, I was running like two and a half weeks. So I only got 5 leads and then nothing else. So I took it down. Is that 2 weeks too fast, or should be a little bit longer.
2 weeks and 5 leads, but how much are you spending per day, right? So it's
$10 per day.
$10. So when we're testing ads, there's many variables or factors we look at. Is not just how long, but also what's your budget, and then at the end of the day, what's your cost per lead, right? So if you're spending $10 a day, 2 weeks, that means 14 days is $140, about there, and you got 5 leads. So that means each lead costs you over $20, because 5 times 20 is 100.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then it costs you over, like, I guess almost like $25 a lead. So definitely that is it's a sign that you need to turn off. So when we launch an ad, typically they do say that, 2 weeks for the algorithm to pick up. But that's only if you are still getting leads. But then if you launch an ad and in like 24 to 48 or maximum in 3 days, and if you're not getting leads, or even if you're getting leads but the cost is very high, then that's not an ad that's going to bring in more leads. Leaving it longer is not going to change, right? Because it's not having traction, or it's not attractive to people, so they're not clicking. So typically when I test an ad, the one most important factor or variable that I look at is your cost per lead, right? Because at the end of the day, that's where it all comes, is your cost per lead. Because like I said, you run 2 weeks, but if you only got 5 leads, that's like $25 per lead. But if you're running, for 2 weeks and you have 20 leads, then that's good. But you said after 2 weeks, it's even stopped coming, right? So that means the ad's not working. So typically watch your cost per lead. And that's why I say, if it's giving you some leads, then, after 24 hours or 48 hours, you get 1 lead. That if you're $10, that means 1 lead costs you $20 for 2 days, right? But then maybe on the 3rd day, you get another lead. So 3 days, you spent $30 and you got 2 leads. That means your cost per lead is $15. So from 20 to 15. And if the 4th day you got another lead, so 4 leads in 4 days, no, 3 leads in 4 days. So that comes down to $13. So you can see it's going down. That means it's better. That's why you need to give it a bit of time in that wise. But if you're testing, like after two days, you got 1 lead. After 3 days, still 1 lead. Now your lead is $30 per lead. And the 4th day, still no lead. Now it's $40. So I would say that average cost is going up. Then I would turn it off. And then, so only keep testing it for up to 2 weeks if your cost per lead is within, for me, it's always been around $10, but because you're testing. So I'm comfortable with anything that's between 10 to, anything below 10 is excellent. As part of your ad is good. But if you're testing it, it's a bit high, like anything between 10 to 15, I would probably give it like a week or 2 weeks in case the algorithm picks up and the costs start going down. But if the cost is going up over time, that means it's probably not likely going to go back down, right? So let's just say my average cost is the first 2 days is 20, but the next day it drops down to 15. But then maybe the next day, no leads, like 4 days and only 2 leads, it's still $20. But maybe I'll still leave it, because if the next day I get another lead, it will cut down my cost below 20. So it's just like that. So so if you run it 2 weeks and the cost is that high, you did absolutely the right thing, is to turn it off. So that's like, you have to gauge it. But typically I do suggest people to actually test an ad for 5 to 7 days at least. That's if you're getting leads within the first 24 to 48 hours. If you absolutely get nothing in 3 days, then don't even bother waiting 5 or 7 days, okay? Only waiting 5 to 7 days or more if you're actually getting leads that are, $20 and below, because it's giving the algorithm time, right? Then you're giving it more time for it to work out the algorithm and getting your ads to a more average cost, because it's just like running a business, a restaurant. Not every day you're going to get the same amount of customers. Some day could be super busy, full house, and you're sold out. But other days it could be slow and, maybe not that much money. But then you don't close your restaurant because it's a slow day. You still open it for the whole month, and then you see what's your average the whole month, right? For the month of October, what was my total revenue for the restaurant? You're not going to base it on just one day. So the testing thing is the same. You need to give it time. But of course, the restaurant, you can't just close it after 3 days with no customer. But that's a big sign. If you open a restaurant, you have no customer in 3 days, you probably should close it. Anyway, so that's why it's like there is no standard answer, oh, when do you turn it off? Is it after 3 days, after 5 days? No, it just depends on what you're bringing in. And like I said, just monitor your cost per lead. And if it's still within something, it's comfortable cycle. Anything that's over 20, that's like turn off. There, like, right. So anything below 20, like, and if you really want to stretch it out and just give it a few more days to see if it's get better, then you can. But I think the targeted good like cost per lead for people running ads in Canada, like USA, Australia, is around $10. So if you can get $10 or below, that's excellent. If you're a bit over $10, it's still, it's acceptable. But anything over 15, I feel like you should really go back to the drawing board and start working on a new ad to test, because that's high. And especially for newer people, that's what you have right now is the time to test ads. Because like Jackson and I said, once you become a coach, you have a team to lead, your time to do ads will be less, because now you're spending more time managing other things or supporting your team getting their winning ads out. So that's why, and obviously you're generating income. So for me, for example, I'm okay if my cost per lead is $15, because it's $15 is better than me turning it off and don't have time to create a new ad, right? But as a newbie, you probably don't have a lot of mentoring, other stuff to do. So your main focus is just making ads, and that's it for now, until you start have a team that you need to support. And by making ads, that's how you're going to learn and have that knowledge to support your new person, your new mentee later on when they're going through this advertising part as well, right? Yeah. Alrighty, Kaya, I hope that helps. And I think Harshala.
Yeah. Hi, Karen. Hi.
Hi.
That's pronounced rightly, Harshala. Yeah, thank you so much and my question is regarding the ads itself. So I've been running ads for quite few months now, and with the initial time it went out of targeting, then the target was quite on track, but the cost per lead was really very high, like up to $15 or $20, and now with my current two ads, uh, I'm getting a good cost per lead around five and a half, because one ad I ran around $10-15 a day, and then another was $10 a day, and I got good leads which I wanted in terms of I'm looking for Indian mothers and with kids and so on. So whatever on target, and I kind of got 5 to 6 leads a day on an average. However, even after like running that both the ads for almost a month, and with a good cost per lead, I got 100 odd leads, but no buyers. So, what do you think must be going wrong? Is it the targeting? Should I be tweaking the video, or what should I be doing differently?
Okay. So yeah, that's a good question, because you seem to be having all the box checked off, but no buyers coming through. So the one thing is I've always said in other mastermind or other meeting is that, yeah, so of course, getting a good cost per lead, which you are getting, and then filling up your funnels up to, 100 leads. That's when usually buyers start coming through. But for some people, it could be a bit higher, could be less. So maybe yours might be higher. I don't know. But then it is a sign that if it's at 100 and moving on and you don't have buyers, then it could be a sign that two things that I think could be the problem is, one is the targeting, and two is the video itself. So even though, because maybe the messaging means not like verbally word for what you say, but the messaging as in like people are, what is it, misconceiving what you're offering. Because a lot
Okay.
of people think, because sometimes people misconceive and think we're offering a job, like an online job or something like they do. But when they realize, oh, I need to pay money, they watch a webinar, they realize pay money, then that's when they stop, right? So
Yeah.
you're saying you're getting good cost per lead. Also, like that in terms of the targeting, are you targeting North America, or where are you targeting?
Yes, I'm in Canada, and I'm targeting entire Canada and then few states in the US.
Okay, okay, that's good. Because the reason I asked is, I mean, some people they target like India, or they target Philippines or Vietnam, and obviously you're going to get tons of leads because they're always
Yeah.
looking for something. But obviously they wouldn't have the capital to
Correct.
invest in it. So that's
Yeah.
why it would stop them, and they would just click on any money-making opportunity.
Correct.
When they ask for money, that's when they stop. And then the other thing is like, so the messaging, is it perceived as you're offering like a job offer? So they think they don't need to invest any money, just putting out their time to work online and make money. And then also the other thing is you are targeting Indian moms, but also that's the issue here. It could be that targeting as well, because I'm not sure too much about the Indian culture, but I mean, for us here, if you're targeting like moms, and it's usually typically stay-at-home moms, then no?
No. So one of my ad, and me being a working professional, it's like the first ad was targeted towards women, but I'm talking about, immigrants and working professional or working mom. And the other ad was both like male and female put together. Like I targeted both. So it's not stay at home moms specifically. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because like I mean that happened to my sister because she targeted moms and moms with kids. So
Yeah.
even though I know you said you are a working professional, but when you have moms with kids, typically it will be shown to a lot of the stay-at-home moms, right? Even though that's not your
Correct.
target, but they fit in your targeting as Indian moms with kids, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
mom will fit. So because of that, she's attracting a lot of, I guess, the stay-at-home mom or the part-time mom where they just don't have the capital to start or things like that. So you are a working professional, and yeah. So I think it could be the messaging and the targeting. So just look at those two again, because your cost per lead is high, but they're not converting to buyers. And then the other thing is that I'm not sure, are you running your ads in your native language? Are you running it in English, or what are you running it in? Your
So it's English and Hindi mix. So it's English.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then does that mean they go to the English webinar?
Yes. Yes, they do.
Okay. So sometimes we do, especially when we're running, for many of us as running in our native kind of tongue or language, is that then sometimes you might run into that cultural barrier, right? Because obviously they see you as an East Indian mom, and of course you're speaking English. So you do throw in a few English words, but when they go to this webinar, sometime maybe some white person, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone, but just the truth, right? You'll say a Caucasian person doing it, and all the testimonies are all these other what is it, ethnicities, and they don't have that connection, because everything is all about connections, right? So if you do that, then I would suggest, like, maybe, I'm not sure, if you maybe look for a webinar where it's hosted by someone with the same background as you, or a webinar that have more of the testimony of people with the same background, so they can resonate more. Because you see where there's a connection there, because they're connecting with you because you're doing English, so you're really trying to attract people that speaks Hindi, which is from India, but now they're going here, they're seeing a total different group of people, so
Yeah.
going to be hesitant. They don't know if it's a scam, they can trust them. So
Yeah.
try to do that, right? Yeah. So that's what I think. But are you running Facebook? Are you running message ad, or what kind of ad are you running?
No, it's yeah, I'm doing only on Facebook, and this time because I just started my Instagram account as well, so I targeted like both Facebook and Instagram. But when I look at the data, it's mostly been 90% shown on Facebook itself, and it's a video ad.
A video ad, but in your ad, is it like a message ad? Do they click to send you a
Yeah,
message?
yeah, message
Oh,
ad.
okay.
Yeah, it's a message ad.
Okay, so it's good that's a message ad, because then they have that connection with you, right?
Yes.
Direct them to the webinar. Like I said, maybe there could be some, and I mean, people are hesitant because you're still a stranger,
Mhm.
but of course it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess there are a few things. So maybe just revise to see what the message of the video entail, like what kind of like the vibe you're putting out. Is it business
True.
opportunity or job offer, right? So
Got it.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Welcome. Alrighty, guys. So we're past 4:30, so I'm just gonna wrap this up. Like I, when we talk about ads, we can probably be here for hours, but I hope that with a few questions that can give you a bit of, insight into some of it if you're struggling with some ads area. And of course, I would always recommend that go attend those daily drops in. We have amazing leaders that do these drops in that gives you amazing tip, because it's their area of expertise, right? So David or Roxanne, if you're doing YouTube, go to their daily drop-in. They do a really good one. And I believe that if you're on Facebook, go to the one that Katrina does. Like, she does a really good one for Facebook ads on the targeting and all that too. If you're struggling with coming up with ad content or your videos, come to my drop-in. That's content review, because then we dissect into, you know, your video, what's good, what can be improved, just to help you come up with a more effective video that could turn into a winning ad. Alrighty, guys, so we're gonna take some photos before I let you out of the room. So if you can, turn on your camera, and of course, take this opportunity to do selfie or whatever is it to leverage on your page. And the reason I'm encouraging each one of you to take your own is because if I take it, I send it to you, you use it, because the Facebook is, or Instagram as well, they are favoring original content. So if I send out the pictures and let's say Kim posts it first, and now you take that same picture and you post it, they will say that your content is a copy of Kim. It's not original. So you're not gonna be able to get as much engagement from your that same picture, right? So that's why if you take your own, maybe it's different slightly, then that way you'll get better chance of getting the engagement out for these kind of posts, right? But I'll still take a screenshot and send it for people that are not able to take their own. But that's why I encourage you guys to do it on your own. It's just that owning your business, right? You're the business owner, right? So that's what we do. Content, create content. So yeah. Alrighty, so on the count of three, page 1, 1, 2, 3. And then we have page 2, 1, 2, 3. And then page 3. Okay, and then so I'll just leave the screen on for a few minutes. So if people want to do selfie or video or whatnot, they can. So that way you can have your own content. Thank you,
We do.
everyone, for coming on tonight. I'll see you next month.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.